What's good? I am back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. So, today I'm going to react to a video of the one and only Lord Jamar. Used to be one of my least favorite artists in hip hop. Now he's one of my favorites, not because his rapping ability, but because of his views on life and politics and many other things. So we're gonna hear what he has to say about Trump being elected president again. Let's get into it.
Gotta ask you how you feel about Trump being president again.
Um, well, see, I'm more happy that Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party was not selected. I'm more happy about that than I'm happy about Trump. It's not that I'm a Trump fucking, I'm on the Trump trumpet. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
So far, I agree with him 1,000% on that. That's exactly my stance. I'm not necessarily a Trump supporter, but I'm definitely not a Democratic liberal Kamala Harris Biden supporter. Let's keep it moving.
um, I just feel like the Republican Party's values as it stands now align more with my values. See, the Democratic Party went way too far with the left. They went way too far with the left. They tried to drag us kicking and screaming with, the LGBT and the climate fucking crisis and abortion and just all this nonsense, like, you know what I mean, taking away free speech and go.
Let me stop right there. And we definitely know free speech is being attacked because a lot of conservative content creators are getting strikes, are getting their videos removed or their accounts banned over misinformation, which misinformation is clearly anything the left disagrees with. But you know what misinformation really is? Free speech.
Going against gun rights, all of these things that people with conservative values, trying to go with this they, them, and all that, and letting transgenders read to our children, like, with the woke shit is just too much. It was too much. They was beating us over the head with it. Every Hollywood film or
TV show.
whatchamacallit that would come out, any kind of TV show that would come out. It seems like you couldn't get nothing greenlit unless you incorporate some sort of homosexual agenda inside of it somewhere.
Politics.
It had to be somewhere in there. It could be the most gangsterish, and they was gonna find a way to force it in there. Now we know that Hollywood is very much with the left and the Democratic Party and the progressive. They're the ones pushing this shit. That's why they were able to get so many celebrities to come out for her. Even though they weren't cheap, and we'll get to that. But yeah, these guys just went too hard with this progressive woke shit. And I feel like I felt that going around in the community, not only on social media, but when I would talk to black people in my everyday life, nobody was with the Kamala
Rhetoric.
The Kamala nonsense that they was trying to shove down our throats. Like, we just wasn't buying it. Like, they were trying to tell us Trump is bad. He's so bad. But it's just like, I feel like she's worse.
And I gotta stop right there. I agree with him 1,000%. I mean, Trump's not trying to take away free speech. Trump isn't trying to take away your right to defend yourself. And the Second Amendment is not there just for you to defend your life or somebody trying to break in your your crib or your house or apartment or whatever. It's also there for to overthrow tyrants that try to rule over you. You know, tyrannical rule over you. Then you got them trying to shame people into supporting and accepting LGBTQ community, which includes gays and transgenders. And I don't even know why gays and transgenders are in the same box, because gay people are people who have a mental, emotional, physical attraction to the same sex, and transgenders are people that are delusional, confused, living in a fairy tale world that's not reality. And that's another thing. You're trying to shame people into accepting something that's not reality. That's crazy in itself. Let's see. There's the abortions, which they said my body, my choice, but you know, it's funny how that doesn't work with vaccinations apparently to liberals, and that's why Malcolm said they're the most deceitful and most hypocritical. And you got the post I posted on Facebook where for over a 50-year span, there was only 1,300 athletes, around 1,300 athletes over a 50-year span that had cardiac arrest and died. In the last year, has literally been over 1,500, which is 200 more than the whole 50 years prior. There's the fact that liberals called every Trump supporter and Trump voter a racist, white supremacist, a bigot, homophobe, transphobe, and every name in the book, which, you know, apparently they didn't graduate math class, because if you know anything about percentages or odds, that's mathematically impossible for, you know, everybody from one race of people to be all exactly alike and all have the same exact train of thought. Yeah, the climate crisis. There's just so much, man. It's like if you compare the far right to the far left, the far right's not even far out there compared to the far left. You got Obama shaming black men into voting for a woman and telling them if they don't want to vote for a woman because she's a woman, that's not acceptable. Well, what's not acceptable is shaming men into being emasculated. Y'all want to label that as misogyny, but it's not misogyny. It's we don't want to volunteer to be emasculated. Not only does the religion like Islam and Christianity and religions say that men lead the household and men are supposed to lead. You know what else says that? The laws of nature. That's why it's called the king of the jungle, not the queen of the jungle, the king of the jungle. If you see most packs of animals, they're always wolf packs led by a male, gorilla packs led by a male. Any pack of animals that you find, males lead the pack. And the biggest part of the reason that is because it's our responsibility, our jobs to be the protectors. You can't rely on women to protect men. You got to rely on men to protect women, you know. And then you got allowing biological males to compete in females sports. And it's funny how they say that they act like they're the party of women, you know, because they're talking about abortion and reproduction rights. But you allow men to compete in sports and dominate them, and let's not even allowing boys to identify as girls and change in the girls' bathrooms. That's another one. I saw a video where this guy was saying it shouldn't even be a thing that, you know, about boys and girls in different bathrooms. The only thing you should be worrying about is somebody wash their hands. What? That's crazy. I can tell you right now, dudes don't care if females are in the same bathrooms with them. It's the opposite, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, I gotta respect women that don't want men in the bathrooms with them. That's just, I can't knock that, you know? So, yeah, man, I'm with Lord Jamar on this. Not necessarily a Trump supporter, but I definitely couldn't vote for Kamala because I couldn't be shamed into being emasculated. And once you go after free speech, I don't care what your policies are after that. That's it for me. I'm a musician. I'm a podcaster. I literally got a strike on a video for misinformation, which wasn't misinformation. I just reacted to a video that had 0 strikes on YouTube and said I agree with everything they said, and they cited misinformation. Of course, misinformation is anything that Democrats of the left disagrees with. But misinformation is also free speech. Lying is free speech. Any word that comes out your mouth is free speech. Like, people want to say, put labels on things like hate speech. No, it's just free speech. It's like when people throw labels on, talking about black on black crime. No, there's no such thing as black on black crime. There's just crime. You know, these labels are put there to be divisive, and that's another thing. Democrats and liberals say they're the party to bring people together. How you gonna bring people together when you call everybody on the other side racist, homophobes, bigots, transophobes? No, you can't walk that back. You can't apologize. That's a wrap. You know, and then you got people like my sister doesn't want you indoctrinating her kids with transgenderism and LGBTQ community and anything that goes against their religion. And, you know, if they want to stand on their religion, hey, that's fine with me. I'm not a Christian, but I'll tell you this much about my sister and my brother-in-law: the most decent human beings on the planet that I've ever seen in my lifetime, and the best parents I've ever seen in my lifetime. You know, so that's that. Yeah, these people are batshit crazy, stuck out on Gilligan's Island. I don't know if they'll ever be able to come back to shore because their views are so radical and so far out there. And it's too many of them. It's too many of them. Well, once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Paul Pickett Podcast. Peace, and I'm out.